Welcome to Body Bags. I'm your Thursday reviewer, Chris, from Chrisb Movies. And I just told you my name's Chris, and I love B movies. Now, art. We can't all be Andy Warhol. We can't all be Rembrandt. But in our everyday lives, we produce art. Whether it's making a delicious meal for your loved one and plating the dish so perfectly. Improvisation is art. Our day-to-day conversations with others. Many times, or all the time, we improvise. I should know, I've taken enough improvisational courses to know that. Photography is a beautiful art, and so is modeling, which fit right into the context of this film. Now, let's go to trust. Every day when we go to work, we need to trust the person we're working with, that they're going to help to meet the deadlines, that they're going to do their part of the job. Photographers have to trust models, that the models will show up on time for a shoot, the models will follow their direction. The models must trust the photographers, that they'll take pictures that really accent their beauty. They have to trust the people behind the scenes, that they'll treat them properly. And of course, the guy funding the money, that they'll compensate them properly. And of course, treat them well. Now, the film I'm going to review is a film from 1963 from Herschel Gordon Lewis, and the film is entitled Scum of the Earth. And in this movie, we're dealing with real scums of the earth. Now, Mr. Lang runs this modeling photography underground company. And he takes pictures of underage girls in scantily clad costumes, bikinis, bra panties, and also naked and half-naked topless. And he has one of his juvenile delinquents that work for him sell them to high school kids. Real scums of the earth here, I'm telling you, man. Now, Sandy, who's been a model for Mr. Lang for a very long time, wants out. And Mr. Lang even agrees she's getting old and not selling enough pictures. So, Mr. Lang tells her, you can get out, but you need to recruit enough girls. So that way I'll have enough girls to produce revenue. So she meets up with Kim and kind of tells Kim what a good gig this is. And Kim really wants to do the right things in life. You know, she wants to go to college, make something of herself, but she really can't afford it. So Kim reluctantly agrees to go forward with the modeling gig. And she shows him, and at first she's having a good time. She meets Harmon, the photographer, who at first is real crass and real businesslike, and doesn't like to have a lot of doesn't like to answer a lot of questions. He's like, "You want to do this or not?" But they have a good time, and she's taking pictures on the beach in her bathing suit and everything, and taking pictures in all the positions that Harmon asked her to. So she's properly following what Harmon's telling her to do, and they're having a good time, and she's enjoying it. She gets paid. She goes back home. Hey, no problem. But Mr. Lang really likes her, and she's selling a lot of pictures, so Mr. Lang wants her back. So now, he's going to up the ante. He's going to pay her more money, but she needs to go topless. So she's like, I'm not doing this. But Harmon kind of talks her into, well, I'll tell you what. I'll just take a picture of the body, not the face, so nobody will recognize you. So she agrees, and Harmon is doing his end of the bargain, taking pictures of neck down. But then Larry, one of the juvenile delinquents, and the guy that sells all the pictures to the high school kids, kind of gets his own camera out and takes a picture of her, face and all, and now she's pissed. She wants to call the police and shut this whole operation down. So Mr. Lang calls her in and kind of sweet talks her. He gives her an offer she really can't refuse. He tells her, he's like, I'll pay for your entire college. You can go to college for the rest of your life. I'll pay for it. All you can do is give me 2 full weeks of modeling, head to toe, naked, do whatever I tell you to do, and I will pay for your college, and you'll never have to worry. Now, if you don't do it, all those pictures that Larry took of your face, breasts, and everything, I'm going to send to your dad. So she says that she has no other choice but to do this. She follows suit, and she follows through. But will Mr. Lang give her her money for college and let her go when she's done? Can she trust that Mr. Lang is going to do this? Well, you're going to find out by watching Scum of the Earth. Herschel Gordon Lewis, 1963. This was filmed in 6 days. And it was filmed 2 weeks after Blood Feast, so a lot of the same actors jumped on board with Scum of the Earth. And we're talking about Thomas Wood, who plays Harmon. Again, one of the best actors in the film. He plays a photographer, Harmon. Okay? And Mal Arnold plays Larry, one of the juvenile delinquents. Now, Mal Arnold also played the killer in Blood Feast, Fuad Ramses. And he's, again, one of the better actors in the film. Let's talk about Harmon a little bit. He's the photographer, and he wants to do a good job. He wants to do everything that he's told to do, but he sees what goes on behind the scenes, what the juvenile delinquents are doing to these models, and he's more of a protector, a father-like type, protecting the models from the juvenile delinquents because they are physically and emotionally abusive to the models, and so he's their protector. And he makes deals with them to kind of like take the pictures that they'll be comfortable with. So if they're going topless, it'll be neck bottom, so nobody sees their face. So let's move on to Kim. Kim is naive, and she just wants to go to college and make something of herself, but she can't afford it. And she's doing an art she really doesn't want to be part of. She's just doing it for the money. And then there's Lang, and Lang, again, runs the operation. He's more of the godfather. They'll give you an offer you can't refuse. He has like this Napoleon complex about him. And he's the guy funding all the money, so he lets other people do his dirty work for him. Unless somebody wants to take off and leave, then he calls them in, and he makes them an offer, like I say, that they can't refuse, and they have no choice but to take. Ajax is one of the juvenile delinquents that works for Mr. Lang, and he is so emotionally and physically abusive to the girls. A lot of times he gets in the pictures with the girls, bare chest, hairy chested, and he gets a little too close to the girls, and he's very inappropriate with the girls. And then there's Larry, the other juvenile delinquent, and he's the guy that's wheeler and dealer. He makes sure the girls are on check, doing what they're supposed to do, and he sells all the pictures to the kids, and makes Mr. Lang all his money, basically. But he has a camera that he snaps of his own, and he kind of sells pictures on his own, makes a little money on the side. I mean, why the hell not? You have the opportunity, why not go for it, right? Oh yeah, Scum of the Earth. Like I say, we're dealing with real scums of the earth here. Oh yeah. So again, this was filmed in 6 days, and again 2 weeks after Blood Feast. The dialogue's really hammy, and like I say, Mal Arnold, who plays Larry, the juvenile delinquent, and Thomas Wood, who plays Harmon, are the two best actors in this film. The rest of the acting is But anyway, it's an hour and 17 minutes, and it flows pretty well, Being that it was shot in 6 days, I give this movie a lot of credit, and Herschel. Now, it doesn't have the blood, guts, and gore that you would see in The Wizard of Gore, or The Gore Girls, or Blood Feast, but it teaches one lesson. People who do bad things may just get their just desserts in the end. And that's what I gotta say about this film, Scum of the Earth. Check it out if you want. It's not for everybody. If you want Academy Award-winning acting, don't watch it. But if you're into B-movies, a movie that flows pretty well and tells a really good story and has closure to it in the end, then check out Scum of the Earth. But I'm going to put this through the cheeseometer, if you will. And number 5 to 1. Now, 5 is so utterly cheesy that it's the best cheese you're ever going to get. 1 is so utterly cheesy, but this isn't a good cheese. It's probably the worst cheese you're ever going to get. I give it a solid 4. Like I say, the film flows well. And being that it was shot in 6 days, I have to give it an extra thumbs up for that. Again, no guts and gore, but it has enough thrills and chills to be properly included in a Body Bags review. So here it is. Check it out. So anyways, thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the review. And just remember to watch those late night horror movies. Put on your latest fright rags. But don't forget to tune in to another episode of Body Bags. Check you next Thursday.